I turned it down as $3,000 per month client while I was completely broke, working 12 hours a day for $50. And the reason I said no, not because I was confident, and it wasn't because I had other options, it's because I believed in something that almost every other copywriter believes in. And if you don't understand this early, you are gonna lose opportunities just like I did. So before I tell you exactly what I said to that client and the whole story, and why I lost the deal in literally seconds, you need to understand why I got into that situation. Because none of this was planned. Bro, since I was like 9 years old, I always had this idea in my head that I'm gonna be rich. Not normal rich, not comfortable, but real wealth. And I don't even know where that came from. Because my environment was the complete opposite. I didn't grow up around money. I didn't see success around me, but somehow I had this weird idea. And bro, at that time I was introverted as hell. I didn't go out, I didn't have a big circle, I didn't have any friends. It was basically me, my phone, and YouTube. And if you know how YouTube works, you start watching one videos in another, and suddenly you think you figured out life. So I kept watching these cool videos about studying abroad and having this dream life in USA or Turkey or whatever. And by the way, Andrew Tate wasn't viral at that moment. And the whole making money online thing wasn't the viral thing, but this was it. When I turned 14, I actually started taking that seriously. I started learning Turkish because my plan was simple. Go to Turkey, study there, work while studying, build my life from there. And if I'm being honest, I didn't have the mindset that I have today to being able to study the language as fast as possible. I was procrastinating, I was lazy, but basically I was 14, man. But deep inside, I always knew one thing. The traditional path wasn't for me, despite I was one of the best at it, by the way. But it just didn't make any sense, even for a 9-year-old kid. Then one of my friends told me something, bro, financial aids to US cover everything. And it's US, it's not Turkey, you know? And that it changed everything. I dropped the Turkey plan, the whole of it. And I understood one of the biggest life lessons there. If you keep switching sides between skills, between plans, you will not make anything. And that's the main thing that made me continue into my copywriting mission, even when I was not getting any replies, even when I was only getting that I'm not interested or no thanks replies on Instagram. I got the lesson from there. Then I started focusing on US, like studying IELTS, SAT, applications, and by the way, SAT is like studying science, mathematics, and all that, but IELTS is just the English test, you know? And bro, the whole thing needed money. Like, even if it's free, even it's financial aid, you need money to get into these exams. And for sure, as a total broke, even if it's $100, it's still expensive as fuck. So me and my friend trying to take some other options like not IELTS or TOEFL. We can go with Duolingo, and Duolingo's kinda free. I was preparing for years, man, thinking at 18 I will finally escape. But reality hit hard. The exams were expensive, my friend. And that's when something clicked into my mind. I need money now, not tomorrow, not the next week, not the next year. I need money now. To being able to do anything, we need money. 2 years passed when I was just procrastinating to get into any real skill after I failed at that one exam. And I'm not talking about IELTS exam, I'm talking about the exam of trying to find some financial aid, because most of the financial aid that we found was like 80% and 90% covering. The 10% is like $10,000 and something like that, so we couldn't afford shit. But I think I have learned most of my life lessons from there. So time passed, I was working, it was basically a 9 to 5, but it's not a 9 to 5, it's like a 9 to 9 because it's a 12-hour delivery job. For $50 a month, just imagine that, my friends. So, like, I was spending more money on the food at that time, so it was basically shit. And by the way, I was also studying, so I started to search some ways to make money online. I tried graphic design, didn't work. I tried programming, didn't work. Not because they are bad skills, but because my situation was trash. And by the way, they are bad skills now, but not in 2024, not in 2023. At that time, they were the main things online that print money. But because my situation was trash, my laptop couldn't even handle basic stuff, and it's not that laptop, by the way. It was a $50 laptop too. So I was basically stuck again. But I kept hearing people talking about one thing: a skill that doesn't need a strong laptop, doesn't need money to start, just needs your brain and your phone and maybe a laptop. Copywriting. And I said, okay, let's try this. But deep down, I know that it's not gonna work, man. Like, I've tried everything. So this copywriting is going to work for me? For sure not. But here is where I messed up. And this is where most of you are probably messing up right now. I didn't take action. I just consumed videos and videos. You know, this kind of videos that Tyson 4D produce. The kind of videos that KG Rainey, Tom Stoic, all those copywriting gurus. Yeah, feeling motivated. They're talking about the 10K a month in the intro of the video, and I was like pumped. Yeah, I will make 10K a month. So I'm starting to taking some notes, consuming, never applying shit. I felt I was learning, but I wasn't moving. No outreach, no real practice. Just watching. And even if I outreach like 3 times a day. Until one day, I just got tired of myself. Like, really, I said, what the fuck I'm doing right now? So I made a decision, and it was a real tough decision. I quit my job, and I gave myself a deadline. 32 days, no backup plan, no excuse. And I hope I can get the picture. But I literally wrote that on my wall at the time at the best house that I was living in. Yeah, surely my mom shouted at me a lot for that, but I was motivated as fuck. I told myself I will never in my life watch another video. I know how to write. I know how to outreach. I will try my outreach method. Even if it's shit, I will still keep doing that. But I will never consume content again. I will just make raw dump action. Because I've heard Andrew Tate talking about that raw action solves all, and Alex Sermonzi was talking about that too. He's talking about the volume, and the much volume you provide, the much success you're gonna make. And for sure, bro, volume beats anything, like talent, everything. So I saw those copywriters are probably making like 200 or 100, 200 outreaches a month, or maybe a week if they are consistent. So I thought to myself, what if I did it in one day? So imagine how much volume that I'm going to be producing. So I'm not giving myself any way to fail it. Like, you are not watching videos, you are not consuming shit, you are just doing the work that you are supposed to be doing. Like, personally, I thought it's gonna take like at least a month. Just sending outreach, no perfection. And then after a few days, I think it was like 5 days. Bro, you wouldn't believe it. But I got my first client, and it was the dumbest message you could ever send. Like, at that time, I was making my outreach system. I was making a good outreach system. I was having a good outreach method, and I was making this compliment sandwich, and I was making some kind of loom videos. But those for the qualified leads that I know that I can work with them, that I know they got money. But for the unqualified leads that I know they are broke, probably, I'm just sending them like this message exactly. Do you need a copywriter? And bro, the guy told me yes. Like, I was thinking he's broke and maybe he doesn't mean it or something like that. But he got on the call with me. And literally at that time, bro, I didn't sleep. I was overthinking everything. Like, what if he told me that? What if he told me that? And copywriting gurus was making that hard. Like, this sales call, you need this framework, you need this mindset shift or whatever to being able to perform good at the sales call. But I was getting crazy. I was overthinking, like writing a lot of things on my wall that I should ask him in the call. So it was everything for me at that moment, to be honest. Like, the first success that I'm seeing since I was 14. Bro, it was like 7 years of absolute failing at everything. So I got into the call with him. I talked about boxing because I was seeing him posting some boxing, videos and reels. So I thought he knows about boxing. So we talked about boxing. I showed up as someone he knows, as a friend, talking about boxing, talking about that, talking about some of the things that he's interested in, and some of the things that I'm interested in too. And I was literally chilling, but inside I wasn't chilling. I was nervous as fuck. Maybe it could go wrong. What if he said that? What if he said that? The call ended. He paid me, and bro, this $200 was the best thing that ever happened in my life. Like right now, I see money on the screen and I don't even like it. Like I see a lot of money on the screen. Money comes in, a client pays me, a client maybe delays a payment, but he pays me at the end, and I don't feel anything when I get this kind of money. But at that moment, bro, it was everything. I showed everyone that I'm right about the things that I'm getting myself into, because they are talking about the traditional system, getting to school, getting to college, and all that shit. I showed them that I can make it work. Like, I also have never seen someone in person making money online. Like in my country, in my place, no one is doing that. So I'm the first one to fucking do it. And at that time, I knew that I can make another client. I can make the tanky. I knew that. Because if I can do it once, I can do it twice, I can do it, that I can do it every single day. And that gave me some unlimited motivation, my friend. So it was like the best moment of my life. And guess what? After 3 days, I made another client. Bro, this was the most crazy shit that ever happened in my life. Like at that time, I just knew that my system is working. Like if I wanna get client, I can get it easily. Just push enough volume with the right system and you will get the clients, you will get the money, you will get everything you are wishing for. But here's the part that still hurts to this day. Before I even got that first client, I had a bigger opportunity. A bigger opportunity, like I mean it was really big, like a consulting coach. He's someone that teaching coaches how to make their program, and like Alex Hermons, he just fired his copywriter at that time. Bro, the best thing about being a copywriter or outreacher is to be the right person at the right time. So I was the right person at the right time. Like he just fired his copywriter. And I came in and I talked about the specific things that he's missing, which is the low open rates. I told him I will get you 94 open rates. He was having a very warm email list, so it's possible. And his previous copywriter was getting him like 56, 57. So he was like, literally, bro, I wish I could just scroll the chat and give you the screenshot, but it's gonna take a lot. He literally, bro, without a call, without everything, he told me drop your price. Like I told him we can talk about it in a call and those things, and he just said like $3,000 will be okay for you. And look what my dumbass told him. I told him no, actually, that would cost you $4,000. So I still blame myself for that opportunity till day. And the only reason that I did that because I was influenced by YouTube, TikTok, Instagram Reels, people in sales space telling you charge high, don't settle, you are high value, but they don't tell you when and how to do it. Bro, like after that time I was begging him to work with him again and he never responded to me. And after some time he blocked me. And just like that I lost the deal. No negotiation, no second chance, gone. I was still broke. But actually it was maybe the first conversations that I made with a business owner, because I was outreaching without making any kind of conversations, just sending messages. Yeah, telling him he's looking good, that replying to his Instagram, basically providing a compliment sandwich, and all I was getting not interested, no thanks. So this was the first conversation that I made. So at least I knew that I can maybe make it work. So when I logged in, I made it. And that moment taught me something. Most beginners don't fail because they lack skill. They fail because they follow the wrong advice. But I kept going, I fixed my mistakes, I focused on what actually matters: volume, skill, consistency. And now I help struggling copywriters do the exact same thing. Because I was into your shoes, my friend. Maybe your life as shitty as my life was. Maybe you're just trying to get out this fogged system, which is the traditional system, and having a 9 to 5. Bro, let me tell you something that I noticed during this war. Bro, people used it to tell us that having a job is the safest thing you could ever get, right? In the war, most struggling people are the people with jobs. Do you know why? Because if you are getting paid $2,000 a month as a fucking worker in a company, you still get paid the same amount of money when inflation happens. So when you could buy like 100 units before, now you could only buy 90 units. So you are the only struggling one in the world. But I am, as a copywriter or any other entrepreneur, can just charge higher. Even anyone with a business can charge higher for his products. Even if he's selling a microphone like that, if he's selling a glass like that, he will charge higher. But the only one who can't charge higher is a fucking worker. So it's the most unsafe thing. So if you really want to get out of that, and if you are serious about learning copywriting, and if you don't want to waste years of figuring out everything by yourself, check the link in the description and I will show you how I will get you the first copywriting client in 32 days. So yeah man, see you in the next video.